Hi everyone, I am Balaji Chippada and welcome back to my YouTube channel. From today, we are going to start a new series called SQL. But before learning SQL, which is structured query language, we need to understand what are databases, why do we need databases, and what are the features of database. SQL is a programming language that you can use on top of databases to retrieve and manipulate data. So to understand SQL properly, we need to understand about databases. So without any delay, let's get started. Let's start with learning databases. In this video, we are going to cover four topics, which are what are databases and why do we need them, and we'll also look at what are the different types of databases and how you can talk to database. And we will also look at applications as well, where the database are being used widely. So we will get to know all of these details, and we will also learn about SQL. SQL is basically structured query language, and we will see how you can use SQL to make modifications, reading, doing all the manipulations on top of databases. Before understanding databases, we need to understand about data. So what is data? I have prepared this slide so that I can explain it in detail. So let's say I have a person and I have the name of the person, I have the age, and I have date of birth, and then I have the location of their house, and then let's say I have the bank balance. Okay, and let's say what type of car they will drive and what kind of food they will like. So all of this is information about a particular person, right? So all the information, we call it as data. And if you talk about images, videos, audios, eating habits, transaction details, everything that we look at in a day-to-day basis, everything is data. No matter what you do, everything is considered as a data point. And in real life, a data point could be either informational data or there could be some scrap data. Because if I say about these points for a particular person, it is giving me information about this person, right? That means it is creating some value, and there might be some kind of data which doesn't add any value or doesn't add any information in your data collection. So we have two type of data, which is informational data and which is scrap data. We mostly focus on the informational data, and in real world you get data in both of these formats. You need to segregate and understand which is the informational data and which is scrap data. And if I talk about data at a high level, everything about all the things that you do in day-to-day life is data, guys. Let's say what kind of information that you are grasping, let's say you are learning something, even that is data. And you can have data inside graphs as well. You can have measurements can be data, observations, facts, numbers, quantities. Everything that you see and use in day-to-day life is data. Let's say you are using a smartphone, right? This is mobile, and you are installing an application called Facebook, and this is also data point for me because you have a mobile, and inside that mobile you are installing an application called Facebook. That means you are liking this application, even that is data. And if you are scrolling inside Facebook, you are reacting, you are maybe sharing content. So everything that you do online is also data. And if you look at in this perspective, you have data everywhere, and a huge amount of data is present. But you have this much amount of data, you need to store this somewhere, right? So that is where storing of data comes into picture. And you might ask the question, why do we need to store the data? That is also a question, right? Once you store the data, then you can understand or analyze the data that you have. So that is the purpose of storing data. But first, let's understand how you can store this data, because all of this is data, right? That is where database comes into picture. So what we are saving is, let's say I have huge amounts of data. It could be either informational data or scrap data, it could be any kind, but you have data present inside your online, wherever it is. Now you are saying that I want to store all of it at some place, and we call it as database. So what it does is, it will store all the data that you have inside a place called database, and it is storing electronically. That means, let's say you have newspaper, you can store the content of the newspaper inside database, but you cannot store the whole newspaper inside database. we are storing the data in digital format. And then what you're doing is you are connecting this database to your modern appliances like computer, mobile phones, it could be anything, and you are trying to access the data. You are trying to access the data that is stored inside your database via these machines. So database is basically a place to store the data. It could be of any kind of data. It could be of tabular data, it could be of CSV data, it could be of graph data, it could be of files, it could be of any kind of data that you are storing at some place called database. And connecting this database to a computer or mobile phone, you are able to access that data. And here, if you see, you are trying to talk to database via this machine, right? So at that position, if you want to talk to database, you need some language. You cannot directly talk to database without any language. Let's say you are learning Python. Why? Because you are learning Python as a language to do coding. So likewise, we have some languages that are present so that you can connect to the databases and you can query on top of it. And we have databases, and there are some key features of database as well. Databases can be easily accessed. That means once it is stored online, let's say we are storing it in a cloud, that means you can access this data from any connected device, no matter where you are. So it is easily accessed. And by using this language, we'll talk about this language in a bit, we can easily read the data, edit the data, modify it, and then you can delete the data as well. You can do all the manipulations on top of data using a particular language called, we will learn about SQL later, but we can do that. And it is protected. So what happens is, let's say you have all of this data stored in a hard disk, and it's a physical device, right? So what happens if I lose this device, or else if the device got corrupted? That means all the data that you collected is gone, right? So that is not the safest way to store your data. So at that time, you are saving it inside your database electronically. So what internally database will do is, let's say there are multiple hard disks inside this database, let's assume like that. So the whole data that you are saving, it is present in multiple locations. Actually, it's a copy of it. Let's say this is my data, and what I'm saying is, inside my database, create multiple copies of it at multiple locations. And when you are trying to access data using these machines, you can access via this server, or maybe this server, or maybe this server. And sometimes, let's say if this server is not working fine, even then you have two more servers that you can access the data, because it is protected by creating copies of your data. So it is already protected and it is reliable. And then you can analyze the data by using this language much easily. So all of these are one of the major functionalities of databases. Now let's talk about the applications of databases. So let's say you are using applications like Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, mobile number, phone contacts, payment details, many more. Let's talk about this mobile phone contacts. So you have your name and the number you want to save, right? Inside your mobile, you have the name and you have the number. So this is a kind of data that is being saved on your mobile phone under a database. It could be of any database. And then whenever you want to make a call to someone, you can search the name of the contact, right? So it is a database in which you are storing the mobile phone contacts, and you can do queries on top of it very easily. And every mobile phone is using database to save the contacts. So likewise, all the popular companies and every industry is using databases in some way or other. Let's say you have gone to a shop and you are paying 20 rupees to the vendor, and then in the next time you went to the same shop and you paid 50 rupees, and then you went to the vendor too and you paid 100 rupees. So all of this information is being saved in a database at a particular bank, so that at later point you can download the statement, right? You can get the statement of your bank, right? So likewise, every industry is using database to organize their data and collect the data securely. Now let's talk about DBMS. As I mentioned before, you have the database and then you have the computer here, and you want to connect this computer to your database and you want to do query on top of it, right? So there is a language called SQL, and there are other languages as well. So there is software which will help you do these things. That is what we call it as database management system. So database management system is a software on top of the database, and by using this software you can get the content of your database. Maybe you can query, you can edit, you can modify. And to talk to this software we need some languages, like let's say you have Python, C++, Java. Likewise you have some different languages as well. So popular languages are MySQL, PostgreSQL, MongoDB, Neo4j, Cassandra. So all of these are different languages in which you can query your data or retrieve the data from the database. Hopefully that is clear. And we will talk more about MySQL only, and it mostly deals with tabular data, and we will learn it in a bit. We will understand everything in detail about SQL in the ongoing sessions, but you need to understand DBMS is not equal to database. It is just a software on top of the database such that it will be easy for you to do manipulations on top of it. Now there are different types of database. Let's say you have a CSV file. Okay, inside it you have column 1 comma column 2 comma column 3. Likewise you have the whole data, right? Either you can save the whole data like the CSV file inside your database. Okay, that is where we call it as document database. Or else you can create this data into a tabular format like this: column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4, like this, like tabular format. And you can save this table inside your database as well. And there are multiple types of data that are available. Let's say you have graph data like this, and you have key value data which is in dictionary format, you have search engines, you have time series data, we have wide columns. There are a lot of data types that are available that you can store inside your databases. But for this course we will talk about tabular data, and we will talk about relational databases only. And on top of this relational database we have a programming language called SQL. We will learn about SQL. We will not be learning about these things in our course. Tables and database. Let's say I have created a database like this. So database is a place where you store lots of data. And as I mentioned before, we are only talking about tabular database only. So what it is going to do is, I will create multiple tables inside my database. This is one table, this is table 2. It could be of any shape, any size, it could be of any type, guys. So what it is basically doing is, I have my whole database. Inside this I have multiple tables. Let's call it as table 1, table 2, table 3, and I can have table n number of tables inside my database. Now inside this database I have multiple tables. By using a programming language called SQL, I will be able to read the tables, edit the tables, modify the tables, and also filter the tables. And I can have multiple databases, guys. Let's say this is DB1 and you have DB2, and inside it I have multiple tables as well, right? Like this. So I can have multiple number of databases, and in each of these database I can have multiple number of tables as well. And by using a programming language called SQL, you will be able to do all the operations on top of these tables. And why only SQL? Because it is fast, secure, and it is industry standard. If you learn SQL, you can apply these techniques on syntax on other type of databases as well. As we are talking about relational databases, we will understand about relational database in the next video in detail. But we have other database like graph DB, and lot of other databases are also present, right? So by using or learning SQL, you can do all of the operations on top of relational database, but you can also do the similar kind of operations on top of other databases as well. So learning SQL is crucial. It is very fast, it is secure, and almost every person in the industry uses SQL. So it is mandatory to learn SQL. And there are multiple features, like it is consistent and it is more efficient as well. Hopefully you understand the differences. And that's all in this video, guys. Hopefully you learned what is a database and what is data, and how you can store different formats of data onto your database, and how you can talk to this database by using a software called DBMS, and there is a language called SQL. We will be able to do all the manipulations inside the tables of each of these databases. So moving forward, we will learn how to install SQL on your machines, And then we will start by understanding how you can create a database and how you can add data to the database and how you can do multiple operations on top of these databases. So if you are learning something new in this video, please hit that subscribe button and click that bell icon to get notified daily. And we will meet in the next video. Bye bye.